Good morning, beautiful Daft family. Daily affirmations for the big girl in all of us family. Welcome to the talk after our walk. It is day 53, and we're walking right through the emotional gates today. This morning, we're asking a big question: are you protecting yourself, or are you holding yourself? I'm toying with the words to use because I don't want to get flagged. I don't want this to appear to be anything more than words of encouragement. So, are we protecting ourselves with these fences that we build, or are we doing otherwise? Sometimes the fences that we put up to avoid pain also end up blocking the joy, growth, and truth that we could receive as a result of the pain that we're going through. Sometimes we have to go through pain to come out on the other side and be more appreciative of the joy that we get. And sometimes denial may feel like safety, but that's not freedom. So today's theme, we're talking about fences. We're talking about the denial and the cost of protection. So let's get into it. Drop a wall emoji or something else in the chat if you've ever built an emotional fence. If you've ever built an emotional fence for yourself, whether you did it on purpose or whether it happened without you even realizing that it was happening, drop us a little wall icon in the chat. And while you do that, let me just shout out a few of you that have come into the live since we started. Let's just start from the beginning. Good morning, user 692-812-6617. Good morning to Randy Turner 897. Good morning, Corvette 557, DD Jean Baptiste. Welcome to Marilyn, my producer. Thank you so much for being on the live. I could not do this without you. I've tried. It didn't work out so well. Good morning, Weirdy, Lil Bit, Barry, Ads. I missed a few people, and if I did, I'm so sorry. If you're still with us, leave me a comment in the comment section so that I know to shout you out. It is my goal to always recognize the people that have taken from their busy day and elected to spend that time with us. It does not go over my head that, we all have other things that we could be doing. So thank you very much for showing up and for the support. Welcome, Coffee 6719. Coffee 6719. I feel like your being here is a sign that I need my coffee. Let me tell you guys what happened yesterday. Now, if you've joined at all, you know that I don't particularly care for the taste of coffee. Coffee smells really good, especially different types of blends and stuff. If I go past a Starbucks or whatever coffee store there happens to be in the area, it smells so good. It's so aromatic, and you can just smell the pleasant aroma. And the way my taste buds work, I'm expecting it to taste the way it smells. But coffee just in general has a very bitter taste to me, and I don't care how I try to dress it up. It just doesn't taste very good. But several months back, one of my friends, Mashawn, she's one of our Daft Big Girl cohorts during our podcast. But Mashawn is very much into health and fitness, and she turned me on to Rise, which is a mushroom-based mushroom blend coffee. Now, they're not sponsoring us in any way, shape, form, or fashion, but if you want to, that is a brand that I will stand behind. Again, I know that the science is out as to whether there's really any health benefits from drinking this mushroom coffee. And if it's only a placebo effect, you guys, it just tastes so good. It's kind of a blend between maybe a hot chocolate and a coffee, because there is a small percentage of coffee in that blend, But when I add my coffee creamer, and all I use is the flavored coffee creamer, and I'm sure there's probably a whole host of reasons why I shouldn't be using it, but it tastes so good. Anyway, coffee, welcome. Welcome to the feed. We need you. Daniel Weiss, Casey, Lyd, Mac Sharp, Delmas, Sibian. Welcome to user 1295450421788. Welcome, Rosie Salome. Welcome. Yesterday's live was all the way live, y'all. We had people on from Nigeria, and it was a really, really pleasant surprise. I did not set up the live to I didn't set it up with the intent of having co-hosts come in. It definitely gave the live a totally different vibe. And we got the perspective of some young people who live across the globe. We were able to ask questions of them to see, what the similarities were, within their culture and stuff. But you'd be surprised to note there's not much difference in, our value systems and things of that nature, especially as it relates to family. So that was a really pleasant surprise. I got a chance to meet 3 new people, one of whom has been in our lives. The first live that we do 2 lives every day. The first is a mile in my shoes, where we go out and we walk the first mile of every day together. So if you are looking for a walking partner, if you're looking for someone to serve as your virtual accountability partner, you need look no more. You need look no further, because we are right here. We go live with a mile in my shoes every morning, 6:30 in the morning. This morning we took more than just steps. We walked through truth. We talked about the fences we build, some to keep the pain out, others to protect the peace within. What's up, good people? This is Tamara with Daily Affirmations for the Big Girl in All of Us, and I am having a moment. So it's all good though. I'm just trying to make sure I've got all my stuff with it, so I can get so far away from my starting point that
it does not look so.
How you guys doing out there? I hope you are well. I hope you're walking with us. Oh man. So as you all know, we have been walking for several days now, but do you know what day today is? And I don't mean the day of the week. Do you know what day today is? What number?
I think we are at, is it 54?
Not 54.
55.
We're 53. Not every wall is a prison. Some are boundaries built from wisdom. And while it's okay to guard your heart, it's also okay to let love in. Day by day, step by step, we are learning that healing isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, intentional, and just one fence away from freedom. Be sure to join us for the next Mile in My Shoes tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. So we go early enough so that if you have to be at work by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you can still get in your movement with other people, and you don't have to feel like you're doing this alone. We know that the road back to good health and wellness can be lonely at times. I know that more than anybody else, I think. Hence the reason we started the lives. So if you're looking for somebody to do that with, you need look no further. We are just a button click away. So I appreciate you guys coming in. Jordan, G Talk, welcome to the live. But today's theme on our walk was fences. denial and the cost of protection. Denial and the cost of protection. And I just ask if you have ever, whether on purpose or inadvertently, built a fence, an emotional fence around yourself, if you've ever had occasion to do that to yourself, drop us an emoji in the comment section. Drop us a wall in there. Let us know you have built that wall. And while you all are doing that, let me just slip into our Apple a Day check-in. Since the beginning of July, we have been running an Apple a Day challenge. Now, I have eaten an apple every single day, save for 2 days. I think I forgot to make a post one day, because I got invited to, this is around July 4th, I got invited to a cookout, and I was so excited about the cookout, I forgot to eat my apple. So that was one day missed. And then I think a couple of days back, I just ran out of apples and I didn't get a chance to get to the store to get one. So although it is day 25, we're at July 25th. In full transparency, I've had an apple a day for 23 days out of the 25. So I missed. My point in saying all of that is, if you are just joining us in the Apple a Day challenge, there's still time for you to, receive gifts for having completed the challenge. We are just putting to test the theory that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. There is a lot of research that has been done on that very subject. We talked about it in one of our previous lives. So if you'd like to go back and take a look at that, there's a lot of information there for you. I make no claims to the health benefits that you receive from them. I'm just merely letting you know what's out there. But yeah, we're just trying to do that. And this time period is where I wanted to, take a look at the leaderboard and that kind of thing. Because all you have to do to amass points is you receive every single time, put a picture of yourself eating an apple, use the hashtag #AppleShamer, which my producer has placed in the chat. Thank you very much for that. And then just tag me in the post. If you're going to tag me on TikTok, you're going to use @Tamara1874, just to make sure that it gets to me. You want to make sure that you are tagging the right person. So maybe some of you have been tagging folks, but I just haven't seen it because it's been going to the wrong place. Sorry about that. I'm trying to readjust this microphone. Welcome, Nadine Moses. Welcome to Maisie P. Welcome to the live. But yeah, so if you want to join the challenge, it's very simple. There is no purchase necessary. You can actually earn bonus points by subscribing to our YouTube channel, which is Daily Affirmations for the Big Girl in All of Us. I know it's a long name, but had to get it in there. But if you go out to our YouTube page, help us to reach our goal. We have a goal for the YouTube page of 100,000 subscribers by or before the end of the year. And then if you also take a look at the bottom right-hand portion of the screen, you'll see where we are in terms of followers on TikTok. Right now, we have 1,357 followers. Thank you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is a very respectable amount of people to be following anybody, so I appreciate it very much. But we're also going to be trying to hit 100,000 followers on TikTok. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, you would get a point for that as well. As far as the lives and things go, please make sure that you're sharing the lives. Make sure you share the lives. Make sure you inform other people what we're doing, because I feel like it's valuable. And hopefully after you have seen some of the things that we're pushing out, you'll think the same as well. Marilyn, who's my producer, she also placed into the chat that you can get your merch at bandybox.store. That's spelled B as in boy, ANDY, box.store. That is my e-commerce store. So if you're not into competitions and you don't particularly care to engage in that type of competition-based thing, you can always purchase your merch from that store. Now, normally I'd show you all the stuff that we have, and so I guess I shouldn't break from tradition. So here are a couple of examples, sample patches that you could expect to receive in your prize pack for completing the challenge. The person who has the most points would win something along those lines. We also have t-shirts. We also have tumblers as well. Just really a really fun way for us to build the community and to get to know each other, and then prove to ourselves that, hey, we can be committed even in the small things. And, so that's it. So now let's dig into the ways we wall ourselves off and why it's time to break down what is no longer serving us. So recently, I very literally had to have a fence in my backyard repaired. Now, this fence conveyed with the house whenever I moved in here. This house is probably, this house is probably about 40 years, 35, 40 years old at this point. And it has passed through many hands before it passed through many hands before it got to me. And, just through regular wear and tear, there are things that come up, inside of a home that you have to attend to. Well, by the time I got it, the fence that was lining the backyard had been out there for the time that the house has been here, and it has taken a beating with all the storms and things that would come through, animals, I guess, climbing the fence and, weighing down on it, all sorts of things. But it got to the point where, structurally it was no longer sound, and it would, move back and forth with the wind. We even had trees and things fall down on it and stuff. But needless to say, a few of the panels started to fall, and I had to bring someone out, and they put the panel back up. Then another storm would come, the panel fall back down, and now not only is it falling down, but it's like dragging all the other panels down. And now where there was one panel down, now there's 3 down. And then another one looked like it was about to go. Needless to say, something had to be done about the fence to get it put back up. And so I just recently had to take care of that, got the fence repaired. It looks amazing now, by the way. Got brand new boards, pressure treated boards. So hopefully they'll last much longer. The post, they dug out the posts a little, I guess the holes a little deeper, put concrete in there to shore the post up to make sure it had the stability that it needed to do its job. But it made me start thinking about the purpose of fences, So fences come in all forms. You can use fences as protection. You can use fences to fence things in to keep them corralled and keep them from being able to come out. I don't know. There's just lots of practical, applications for it. But it made me start thinking about metaphorical fences and the ways fences, in as much as they keep things out, they also keep things in. You know what I mean? Welcome to Nadine Moses. Welcome to Mercy. Welcome to Sharonda's Unique Gift Art. That's awesome, Sharonda. Why don't you leave us a link in the chat so we can go out and check out your wares. Welcome to Eric Naupiel. Welcome to AJ's Lab. User 101177296868. So anyway, as they were building the fence, I was talking to my bestie, and I was trying to think about the theme to use for today's topic. And she and I started talking about this fence that was going up, and she was like, well, why don't you talk about fences, emotional fences and fences that we build, to protect us and that kind of thing to make us feel safe. And I said, you know what? That's a good idea, bestie. Let's talk about fences. And here we are. So I wanted to give a shout out to Marilyn for the great ideas. I don't try to ever assume anybody else's ideas is my own. If it's a good idea, it's a good idea. If you guys give me good ideas for topics to cover, we'll cover those as well. Give you credit for developing that, coming up with that topic. I think my dog is happy about that, and maybe the fence helps him to keep us safe. Anyway, fences come in all forms: denial, perfectionism, isolation, overworking, or pretending that we are fine. How many of you have ever answered when someone asks you, how are you doing? Your first instinct, oh, I'm fine. Everything's fine. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's not fine. And maybe you need to talk about it. I don't know. But if you've ever just answered fine when someone asks you genuinely, how are you doing? And you just said, I'm fine. If you've ever done that, throw a thumbs up in the chat. Let us know that you have also had to deal with that as well. But we put fences up to make us feel safe. We hide behind them to avoid pain, but they often keep us from real connection and healing. As we learned yesterday, we are more connected than we think. And I bring up yesterday because, again, we had 3 people join the live that I was not expecting at all. It was the true, it epitomized the live in the best possible way, because what happens live happens live. I don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. It just happens. And then we have to face the challenges head on, whether they're a challenge or whether it's a good or bad challenge, but we have to face it head on. That's what happened to us yesterday, but it showed how connected we all are. It showed how, far reaching this internet really is. I mean, who would have thought 20 years ago that we would be able to talk to people all the way across the globe in real time? And, it's a really good thing to do, because we have so much stuff in common. And it was really, really a great way to prove that, we are so connected, and we shouldn't deprive ourselves of that connectivity, because we need each other. But let's ask the tough questions. What is your fence made of? What is your fence made of? Put it in the chat. Share it with the rest of us. Maybe something that you say will resonate with someone who's on the live today. Here are a couple of fun facts that I looked up as I was doing some research this morning. Welcome, Dog Dad. Welcome. Mark. Sorry. Welcome, Bubbles. I didn't see you there either. Welcome, Bubbles, Mark, Dog Dad. Welcome. So we're talking about fences. We're talking about what our fences are made of. The metaphorical fences. That's what we're talking about today. But I came across some fun facts, and once again, my little disclaimer: this is not doctoral level research that we're doing here. This is very surface level, and as we all know, anything on the internet, if it's on the internet, it has to be true. So, did you know the brain sees emotional pain and physical pain as nearly identical? That's what it says. It says that's why we avoid triggers, even if they're healing. I really wanted to try and bring on a friend of mine who is actually in the medical professional, who does actually handle. She specializes in medical health. Mental health. She specializes in the area of mental health, and I really wanted her to come on today Maybe we can bring her on in another episode. But she's going to appear on our podcast. So once that goes up, I'll definitely let you all know that drops, because you don't want to miss it. But yeah, I really wanted her to come on so that maybe she could address some of these questions. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not anything in the medical professional. I'm in the medical profession. What I do is I make things look pretty. I create forums for us to talk. And I have friends who are very, very smart and that can shed some light on some of the things, some of the questions that you all may have. But I just thought these were really interesting. Facts. So you guys let me know what you think of them too. There's another, did you know that repressed emotions are linked to higher stress levels, cardiovascular disease, and a weakened immunity? I did not know that. But it stands to reason that when you're super stressed out, I know that a lot of bad things can happen. And I know, being this type of person that holds a lot of things close to my chest, I don't let everybody into what's happening with me. I am inclined, I need to be dropping thumbs up in the chat in response to the question I ask about, if someone asks you how you're doing, my first inclination is, I'm fine. I'm great. I'm fine. When I could be suffering on the inside, and I don't know, I just internalize a lot of things, and I would imagine that a lot of you out there do the same thing. So I don't know. Final, did you know? Studies show that self-protective behaviors like denial and avoidance can become addictive, but they are reversible with awareness and connection. It's also a very interesting thing. Very interesting fact. What do you guys think about that? What do you all think about that? Do you all have an opinion on any of this stuff? If you do, I'd like to hear what your opinions are. Again, I'll leave the chats open so that we can use this platform. We can use this time to talk through things that are happening. It's not intended to be, oh, thank you. Guys,
Keep it off the keyboard.
Manifested the coffee. Let me just take a sip. Let me take a moment. OMG. That is good stuff. I forgot to turn my phone off. Also, very interesting thing happened yesterday. My producer was just ribbing me, telling me not to spill my coffee on my keyboard again, because that's what happened yesterday. I always know that there's potential for these things to happen, but in my mind, I'm thinking, I got it. I'm good. I'm fine. I am fine. I realize that my coffee is here next to my electronics, which you should never do, but I'm good. Nothing's going to happen until it happens. And now I probably have to get another keyboard, unless you guys have some suggestions as to how I can clean this thing. Spacebar now is sticking because of the sugar and stuff. I did my best to try and clean it off, but yeah, what are you going to do? I was more upset that I spilled my coffee than I was that it spilled on my keyboard. I was like, I wanted that so bad. I really wanted that so bad, but alas, it was not to be. Welcome, Scott A. Ormsby. Welcome, Abel Gillian. Welcome, user 6383459224701 less. Welcome. And I don't know if I spoke to Mercy, but if I did not speak to you, Mercy, welcome to the feed. So the question again, the topic once again is fences. I came across a quote, denial is a wall built of fear. That's, there's no author, and it's unknown author, but denial is a wall built of fear. Another couple of quotes here. You can't heal what you don't reveal. That is from Jay-Z. Okay. Dropping bars. You can't heal what you don't reveal. So if nobody knows that you're hurting, where do you start? How do you even know where to start? The fences we build to protect may also become the barriers to our freedom. Author unknown. But I think the point is pretty clear that while a fence is built to protect, it can also hinder you from receiving your healing, because no one knows that you're going through what you're going through unless you share, right? So to the audience, what's a fence you didn't know you built until someone pointed it out? Is there some sort of a fence that you built up and you didn't realize you built it up until someone pointed it out? Has denial ever felt like comfort to you? And did that comfort last? I talked about this on one of the earlier shows that we did. Talk about somebody pointing out your fences. I will share the story again with you briefly, but one of my really good friends called me out on behaviors that I had adopted and didn't even realize that I had adopted it. I didn't even realize that I was building up walls, but I had gone through a particularly rough patch in my life, and I was feeling some kind of way. I was bitter and I had become jaded, and he saw that in me, just in my responses. I've still never, even while going through all of the stuff that I was going through and all the pain and stuff that I endured, I still always tried to make sure that I was kind to other people and stuff, because again, you didn't do it to me, so why am I lashing out at you, you know? But it was just in my approach to things. He basically said, hey, listen, you know, because I'd known him since high school, and we were, you know, part of student council. We were student council members. We same. So, you know, we always had occasion to be around each other, had some of the same classes and all these things. So anyway, we were planning for an event and stuff, and we were in the same space, and just, I guess, based on my responses to things, because I was so bitter about stuff, he called me to the side, and then the good thing is he called me to the side. He didn't try to put me, you know, on blast in front of a large group of people, because that wasn't his intention. His intention was to make me aware, you know, that some things that the way that I was acting was inconsistent with who he knew me to be. So he essentially said, hey, listen, you know, the thing that drew me, and, you know, probably a lot of other people to me, was your optimistic spirit. You know, you're very kind, very, you know, loving, very whatever. He was like, I don't know. He was like, I don't like this version of you. And it made me feel some kind of way, because I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't even realize that I had built that fence so high. I built it so high, I didn't even recognize that the fence was there. It was just a part of me now. And it took, you know, the words of a good friend to help me to tear down that fence. I think I'm in a pretty good place now, but, you know, it happens. So if anything like that has ever happened to you, just let us know in the comment section. Just, you know, throw up a wall emoji or something. Thumbs up, heart, something. Guys, let us know that you're listening. All right. Welcome to Kat. Welcome to Jolly White Zach Gaming. Appreciate you guys coming in. Jason 9001. Thank you so much for coming in. But yeah, so that was a fence that I didn't know I had, but it nearly cost me my peace. But thankfully, the friends that I have, like the true friends I have that I can call up to this day, even if we haven't spoken to each other in years, I can call them up right now and talk to them, and it's like no time has passed at all. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that I have those types of people in my life, because they are who will help me to get past the pain and tear down the walls and insist building up, and sometimes inadvertently doing it. But anyway, I used to think that I was protecting myself by not asking for help. We talked about this a great deal yesterday about the need, to ask for help and why we kind of do that. But what I was really doing, I was building a fence around my struggles. I wanted to seem strong. I didn't want to deal with the embarrassment and stuff. So I ended up feeling isolated. And I stopped doing all of the things that, made me me. I stopped going to church. I stopped praying. I stopped exercising. Hence the reason we even have daily affirmations for the big girl in all of us, because I gained 80 pounds in a year and a half. Not from like overeating. I was drinking Dr. Peppers out the wazoo. I know at the end of each day, I had this is no exaggerating, I probably had about 7 or 8 Dr. Pepper bottles like lined up on my desk, or cans of Dr. Pepper. It got so bad, you guys, that when I came off the Dr. Pepper, I was having withdrawals. I was suffering the worst headaches, and I got the shakes and everything. And I was like, I don't know what's happening, but if I don't get a Dr. Pepper with me like right now. And I think it was just because, I was taking in all of that caffeine, putting in all that sugar. Sodas are notoriously full of sugar. And that's what I was doing. And then with me not working out all the time the way I was before, it really did a number on me. All right. Welcome to user 2876324529387. Welcome, Kat. Welcome in. Marilyn says, I had a friend that I knew since 7th grade. She saw I was going in a direction that was out of character for me. She was not wrong. So we need those friends to help hold up the mirror to what's happening. Because sometimes we get so, I won't say it's being selfish. I'll just say sometimes we get so engrossed in what's happening in our own lives that we, miss what's really happening in our lives. You know what I mean? But it's very isolating. It's very isolating. And then you start to feel sometimes that, nobody really cares, but that's not necessarily true. It may just be that they don't know that something's going on, because every time they see you, they ask, hey, how are you doing today? I'm fine. If you tell me you're fine, I'm taking you at your word, unless I just happen to know you well enough, as in the case of my friend and in the case of Marilyn's friend. I wish I had listened to her, because it has changed my life forever. Yeah, it happens. And then we end up feeling, the isolation and stuff. And we feel like nobody's listening, nobody cares. And let me tell you, no amount of strength replaces warmth and the warmth of real connection. So we can look up all the stuff we want to online. We can, be in all of our little forums and things of that nature. But if we don't have that real life connection, it can be very isolating. But anyway, let's make it a little bit lighter. How about a fun twist? Why don't we do a live drawing? To my producer, can you see who is still in the feed? If we have, so it looks like we have 53 people. It looks like we have 53 people on the live right now. Can you see who the 18th person in the live is? if you can tell me who the 18th person is in this live, and if she calls your name or she puts your name in the chat and you respond to me, we will send you an Apple Shamer t-shirt. Let me show you what those t-shirts look like. Hold tight. It's just right over here. 1 second. Coming back. I want to do something fun, and I want to do something so that we can promote the Apple a Day Challenge. So, to the 18th person who joined our live, if you are still on the live, you can win your choice of a black hashtag Apple Shamer t-shirt and or a white white Apple Shamer t-shirt. So I will let Marilyn figure out who the 18th person is. If you guys are still in the live, make sure that you send me let me see. What could we do, Marilyn, so that we would know that this person is actually on? Well, maybe Marilyn can only see back to a certain number. Let me see. So I have 1, 2, 3. Oh, you can only see back to 10 people? Oh, man. Okay, 4. I can see on my side. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I can only see back to a certain amount. What is happening here? Okay, my bad. All right, so to the first, well, why don't we do this then? The first person, so the first person who answers, so the first person who drops in the chat, hashtag Apple Shamer. The first person who drops into the chat, hashtag Apple Shamer, and I don't mean Marilyn, and it can't be me, obviously, but to the first person who writes hashtag Apple Shamer in the chat, we will send you a t-shirt. How about that? Since we can only see back so far. Come on, guys, it's very simple. You don't have to pay to play. Just write in the text, hashtag Apple Shamer. Okay, and so we'll move on. Welcome, Onyx. Welcome. All right, you guys, we have people in the chat. So if you want a free t-shirt, first person who types in the chat, hashtag Apple Shamer, will receive a t-shirt. I just wanted to do something kind of cool. But anywho, we will, I guess, move on. But good morning, James. If you place into the chat, hashtag Apple Shamer, we will send you a t-shirt. First person to do it. That is the caveat. First person. And then Marilyn will get in touch with you in the DM and get your information so that we can send that off to you post haste. But don't everybody rush at one time. I mean, we can't keep up with all the people who are writing in the chat. Anywho, yeah. So I wanted to talk about a couple of different things that I came across. So the purpose So we were talking about fences. We were talking about how we build these fences, sometimes knowingly and sometimes unknowingly. And fences can serve as protection. Obviously, they can serve to protect your property. They can serve to protect, a lot of things. But in terms of our person, fences that we build to protect the heart and maybe preserve peace. We build fences when we've been hurt, but we're keeping the wrong people out, or maybe the right people from getting in. Boundaries are healthy, but sometimes we confuse isolation with protection. A fence built out of fear will always block love. That is a quote. I don't know who said that, but it is a quote. So the question that we have to ask ourselves is who or what are you protecting yourself from today? Who or what are you protecting yourself from today? You don't have to let us know that in the chat. You can just food for thought. Just food for thought. Secondly, fences can be used to keep people in. I don't want to say the other word because if I do, I fear that I'm going to get flagged. So I don't want to do that. But in keeping us where we are, it limits our progress. Sometimes a fence isn't to keep others out. It's a mental fence that keeps us stuck inside. We say we're safe, but we're really stuck. The fear, of what's beyond the fence sometimes keeps us boxed in. And it keeps us boxed into outdated beliefs. There's a quote. It says, if you stay behind the fence too long, you'll forget how wide the world really is. That is so easy to do. It's a lot easier to do than I think we even realize. So what mental fences have you built that now feel like they're keeping you stuck? What mental fences have you built that now feel like they are keeping you stuck where you are? Again, food for thought, just something for you all to think about throughout your day. If this applies to you, maybe this is a good starting point for you to, address some of the things that, you may be going through. Fences needing repair. I told you guys about a fence that I had that was in such disrepair. We had to do something to change that because it was going to end up falling on somebody, hurting somebody. It was definitely not doing its job any longer because the wood itself had been compromised through years of neglect, through storms and rain and all of those things. But just like my yard fence, some of the defenses we've built have worn out. They don't serve us anymore. You don't have to tear everything down. Some fences just need a gate or maybe a fresh coat of paint. But we have to do something. You can't just, build the fence and then that's it, Growth is knowing when to rebuild instead of retreating. So what fences in your life need mending? And maybe not removing, but maybe just need to be spruced up a little bit. What fences in your life need mending? I was a very sad looking fence. Or it was a very sad looking fence. Are you talking about my fence? Yeah. If it was, okay. Yeah, it was a very sad looking fence. That fence was doing the best it could. He was doing the best he could, but the wood was rotted and it was horrible. It was horrible. It couldn't withstand the storms and stuff any longer. It was just like, I'm done. And just fall over. Welcome, Fred O'Connor. Welcome, Steve. Thimlar. Welcome to Maureen Shaw, 455. Vibica, 81. Welcome. Welcome to, saw somebody else's name, but I no longer see it. So if I missed your name, I do apologize. Finally, some other ways to view fences. Fences can be viewed as clarity. Clearly mark what you will and will not allow in your space. Fences as tools for pacing. They force people to go around, which slows the traffic in your life. And fences with gates. Healthy people know how to set boundaries with access points. That's just really important. So if you're going to have a fence, at least make sure you have a gate so that you can control, what comes in and out of your space and in and out of your life. And you set the pace, you set the flow for how you want those things to come into your world so that you don't feel overwhelmed and you don't feel inundated with stuff. That is so easy to do. I am living proof that that can happen. Well, listen, you guys, it has been morning. It has been fun. We had a great walk today, and what better way to cap off the mile that we walked this morning than to talk about some of the things that, we have questions about. Some of those things that make us say, I never thought about it that way. So that is in essence what we're trying to do. We're just trying to open up the dialogue and maybe present you with some things that you hadn't thought about, maybe in that way. And so I hope that this is at least helpful for you to start thinking about some of the things that may be going on that you have not addressed. I don't know. But anyway, walk with us live at 6:30 a.m. daily. If you're looking for an accountability partner, if you're looking for someone to simply have conversation with while you're out getting your exercise, you don't have to look any further because we are right here. We are on TikTok live every morning, 6:30 a.m. So if you want to go walking with us, we invite you to come along with a mile in my house. We have a really great time. More often than not, things happen that we weren't planning, and so it's fun. So we do that morning live at 6:30 a.m. We ask that you please, participate in the Apple a Day Challenge. Participate in the Apple a Day Challenge. It costs you nothing. We are simply putting to the test the theory that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So we are going to eat an apple a day throughout the month of July and see what happens. I know I feel better. I know eating an apple a day has helped me to feel fuller. And that, according to the research that I was doing, that seems to be one of the healthy benefits of eating apples. They help you to become more satiated. So you feel full longer and you feel satisfied when you're eating the apple. And so you are not as inclined to do a whole lot of excess snacking and overeating because you feel full. So consider doing that. And if you do that and you end up with more points than your fellow daft community member, then there's some good swag here with your name on it. There's some good swag here with your name on it. Again, really quickly, while we're still on live, if you are the first person to type hashtag Apple Shamer into the chat, we will send you a Apple Shamer t-shirt. So if you want that t-shirt, get to typing. First person to type that in before we end the live will receive a t-shirt. And no, it cannot be Marilyn because she is a producer. So, but if you want to participate in the challenge, please make sure that you upload a picture of yourself eating an apple each day and tag me in it. Tag me in the picture. If you're going to tag me in TikTok, please use at Tamara 1874. I know, Marilyn, I know you were trying to get some free swag, but it doesn't work that way. That's a conflict of interest, and I will not allow you to make me do that. Anyway, tag your apples. Use the tag that I provided there at Tamara1874 so that I know that you have uploaded a picture, and use hashtag Apple Shamer. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Daily Affirmations for the Big Girl and All of Us. We have a goal for the channel of 100,000 subscribers by or before the end of the year. And yes, I know that is an extremely lofty goal, but it's okay. That's what we do. We shoot for the stars, and if we fall short, we can still hit the moon, or however that saying goes. So it is pretty lofty and pretty ambitious goal, but you can't reach the goal unless you set one. So we're setting the goal at 100,000. If we make it, wonderful. But even if we fall short, we'll still be further along than we would have been if we had set our sights really low. This is not what we do. We shoot for the stars. So subscribe, like, share the lives with others in your life. Go out, look at our you do a lot of things with the DAF brand. We've got a podcast that lives out on Spotify, Apple Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. If you head on over there, you can see the first 2 podcasts that we've done for this new season. We have another podcast that'll be coming out very shortly. We have a web series that we do. We have a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. Just go out there and take a look. If you want to purchase your own merch because you don't enjoy doing competitive stuff, there a lot of people, they don't really thrive in that space. I'm not one of those people, but there are a lot of people though that don't thrive in that space, and that is okay because we're all unique. And if you would rather just take your time, peruse through some of the t-shirts and other promotional items and things that we offer on my e-commerce shop, which is bandybox.store. So my producer just put that into the chat. You can grab your own merch at bandybox.store. It's not just Apple Shamer stuff. It's the whole range of things. So if you like t-shirts with catchy slogans and stuff on them, I typically wear a lot of those. If you need hats, tumblers, all kinds of things. We have some really quality products there, and we invite you to take a look at that. And then finally, if you need creative services, my company, Be Positive Productions and Multimedia Studios, which you'll see the logo for on my hat, we specialize in all things creative. If you need a website, we are offering an amazing introductory special for a 5-page website and Google business profile for $597, not $5.97, just to be clear. But it's unheard of. Okay, so that's my cue that we are running over time. But listen, if you guys need anything from us, any help or whatever, please see my website at the bottom of the page. It's been posted there the whole time, www.bposproductions.com for your creative services. The DAF Big Girl community is growing, but you are the reason that that's happening. Show up for you, tag us, bring a friend. The fences are coming down. And but before we go, let's speak life over ourselves with today's affirmation. Today's affirmation is, I release the walls that no longer protect me. I choose truth over comfort. I am healing out loud. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Brick by brick, we are dismantling what no longer serves us. We will see you here bright and early tomorrow, DAF family. Same walk, same love, more truth. You all, thank you so much again for always showing up, and make sure that you're getting in some movement today. We love you. Take care, ta ta, and until next time, bye.